There's a barbecue happening at my dad's house. The whole family's coming, both sides of the Atlantic. They're going to be descending early afternoon, and in the morning we need to prep food, we need to move furniture, we need to clean, we need to get things ready, cool some drinks down. The garden will turn into a party, and my job, it's to leave. It's to take the 3 kids here, get them out of the house for 2 hours so the adults can actually get it done. My idea, 1 screening, Paw Patrol. The dinosaur one. There's a charity showing at 11 o'clock, Cineworld, High Wycombe.
Getting old sucks.
So here's the crew. My daughter's 9, my niece is 8, and my nephew's 4. The younger 2 are over from the States, they're my sister's kids, and we're halfway through a fortnight all crammed in together. We're going to Legoland shortly, we're going to London a few days afterwards. We've done tons. But now it's just me, 1 adult, 3 kids, in the dark for 90 minutes. Somewhere in the back of my head, quietly, a thought I couldn't shake all morning. When am I ever gonna get the chance to do this again? First though, the ritual, the pick and mix. The 2 from the States have never had it. Never once in their whole short American lives have they stood in front of a wall of sweets with an empty bag and total freedom. So we're going to do that properly. A little bit of a confession, my moment is ruined for me specifically because I used to work in the cinema in my early 20s. I did stock counts and stock ordering, the pick and mix stock. I know the markup on these sweets to the penny. Well, at least 20 years ago, post-COVID and everything, I genuinely cannot imagine what the number is now. I don't want to know anyway. I'll pay it anyway. Obviously, I'll pay it anyway. And then we go to the cinema, we get to our row. We're in J5678. Why? Because of course, 6-7. It was the 4 seats chosen by everyone in the row except me. But that's the whole trip really. I'm not directing this, I'm managing this. The lights went down, the trailers run. And then before the film actually started, the machine switched on. There was adverts hard-coded to the print. An advert for the new Paw Patrol Dino toy range. And then the Paw Patrol Dino video game tie-in. Bolted straight onto the front of the print before a single frame of the actual movie. The film itself opens by rescuing the rich. A Snoop Dogg-voiced dad on a yacht. Influencer kids. A wife kitted out with more costume detail than Mayor Goodway got in 10 seasons of the show. But then my niece, the 8-year-old, turns to me, delighted. She pointed at the screen, says, I have that boat. Because of course they're on the Sea Patrol and Rex come in. And the merchandise, recognising itself, out loud, out of the mouth of an 8-year-old. Cut to the island and right on cue the new vehicles arrive. The ones you can now go and buy in Smith's Toys. And here's the thing, I came in ready to be cynical about all of it. And then the film had the audacity to be decent. It's honestly infuriating. You spend a whole build-up bracing to sit through a 90-minute toy advert. And then the toy advert goes and hires someone who can actually write. The animation's tidier than the show, as the previous 2 films was. It's better than the show. I'm sorry, but more than 10 minutes has gone into this script, rather than the typical they would put into an episode. My daughter proved to me, before it started, she told me that the first film being about Chase's backstory, the second being about Sky's, and she wanted to guess whose this one would be. She said Marshall, and she was right. And that's a jackpot. Because my 4-year-old nephew is obsessed with fire trucks and Marshall. The film knew exactly who it was for. Marshall in the show is the clumsy one. He's the butt of the joke, and this movie finally gives him a real arc. And a lesson that kids in that cinema actually took home from them. The line was along the lines of, I didn't pick you because you never make mistakes, I picked you because you're the pup that never gives up. It's the oldest trope in the book, to screw up who comes good. And it's the oldest trope in the book because it works. They run the classic underdog structure completely straight, no winking, no subversion, pitched at exactly the height a 4-year-old can reach. And then, yeah, there's dinosaurs. But I'm going to say something that sounds mad when it comes out, but for all its simplicity, and it is simple, it's formulaic. I could pick it apart in my sleep. The film delivers dinosaurs and wonder on a level the Jurassic franchise has completely forgotten. Somewhere along the line, those movies decided dinosaurs had to be grim, grey, gritty, frightening.
This June, the park is open.
Paw Patrol movie just quietly remembered A dinosaur is supposed to make a child gasp. We don't always need darker. We don't always need grittier. Sometimes it's okay to just do it for the kids. Somewhere in the middle of all this, the mark up, the merch, the boat, the machine, my jaded, cynical, seen it all before self just thawed. Because I looked down the row and there were 3 kids that I love, faces full of sweets I overpaid for, getting 90 minutes with their favourite pups and a screen full of dinosaurs. My sister's kids, over from an ocean away, halfway through a fortnight I will never get back. Life is fleeting. You need to fill it with joy where you can. You make the memories, well, the making's good. I honestly don't know if my daughter will want to see the inevitable 4th Paw Patrol movie. Maybe this was the last one. Maybe I've already had the last of these. There was a moment in the theatre, my 4-year-old nephew reached over and took my hand, and I felt it. The thick, sticky, sweet residue all over his little fingers. The markup I stood there resenting an hour ago, now literally sticking his hand to mine. That's the whole thing, isn't it? The film didn't give me that moment. They did. That day did. I've seen this 1,000 times. Films like this 1,000 times. But just because I've seen it 1,000 times, it doesn't mean they have. Yet.
Would you like to know more?
Movies, popcorn.